welcome back to my channel. So I'm going to try to do this video while I try to scalp massage. I'm using the sulfur aid. This helps a lot with promoting hair growth and things like that. So I try to use it every so often when I remember. And then I also have my biotin oil and a mix that I use to try to, you know, do my thing. So a couple of days ago, somebody left me a comment that really bothered me. The comment pretty much was telling me that once I get in shape, once I lose weight, I was going to have a lot of skin and I'm going to need to have surgery to cut it all off. Yes, there's people that have lost a large amount of weight and have done that. But to come on somebody's page and assume that they're going to be going through the same experience and offering a solution as far as going under the knife really bothered me. Because that is just so far like out there. Because first of all, I'm not comfortable with cutting my skin and going under the knife. If anything, I'm going to do everything to try to avoid that. I've learned that if you lose weight a little bit slowly and you actually are toning in the process, the skin is not as much as you just rapidly like taking, for example, a weight loss injection and dropping all the weight at once and your body just goes blip. So now you got to try to build that up. So for me, it's a slow thing. I'm doing this on my own time. So when people see certain things on social media and in media in general, they assume that everybody's going through it's the same and they all want to do the same thing. Like all of us want BBLs, all of us want a flat stomach going under the knife. And that's not true. I started this journey because I wanted to challenge myself because I'm getting older and I've never really done anything like this. So I was like, let me start posting videos showing people, hoping to inspire others. I was really, really bothered by that comment. Since I started this since 2 months ago, I got comments where I was being told how I should lift more heavier weights. I should go to the gym because people felt that what I'm doing is not it. Everybody has a different end goal. And everybody is different. So don't make assumptions and don't make a thing that whatever worked for you will work for the other person. I'm in my 40s. There's hormonal things in play. So weight loss can be very challenging versus somebody who's let's say maybe under 30. It might not be a challenge, but there's other things going on. It's not just about watch what you eat and work out when you are over 40. There's other things going on. So to make assumptions about somebody's body is just interesting to me. So I was going to talk about some of the things that you experience when you tell people you're doing a lifestyle change, you're trying to lose weight, or you're trying to just do something different in general. The first one is unsolicited advice. People are telling you left and right, this is what they did, this is what you should do, you're doing this wrong, this and that. And I want to say you have to focus and tune that out, because if you don't, you're going to find yourself just going left and right and just distracted. So I have really found a way to quiet my mind and really focus on my journey, my own journey, or whatever it is I'm trying to do. I have never called this a weight loss thing. I've called it a lifestyle change for a reason. So that's one. The next thing that I've noticed is somebody mentioned keep your, move in silence and don't mention everything you're doing, because people sometimes are not supportive and they want to distract you and move you away from whatever it is you're trying to do. So I've been kind of like telling some stuff that I'm sharing my workouts and all that, but I'm not sharing everything. There's things that I do that I'm not talking about. But in the general, I've noticed that. The next thing that you might fall into is comparing yourself. Yes, there's ladies that I watch that look amazing and they have the nice bodies, they're curvy, and I'm like, oh, I want that. But I have to literally be like, you know what? Focus on what it is that you want. For me, my goals are, I need energy. I want to be here for the long run. I want to be strong. Like, that is one of my things. I want to be strong. And I want to challenge myself to be like, yes, go girl. Like, I'm ready for that, so that's where I'm at. So that is another thing. Don't compare yourself, because you might, find yourself doing that, but just find a way to get away from it and focus. Another thing is people assume that anytime you're eating better, you're working out, the end goal is a weight loss thing. It doesn't have to be. There's people that are doing this and that's not their concern. I rarely look at the scale for that reason. Not everybody's just trying to lose weight and that's it. Some people want strength. Some people want to really detox their bodies because maybe you've been eating so bad for the past years of your lives. And you are like, you know what? It's time for me to detox and start really feeding my body nutritious things and getting it to the best, better skin, just better, a glow, like feeling, to heal yourself from the inside. Some people have that goal and they're not concerned about weight loss, because when you're a bigger person, people assume that that's what your goal should be. And I'm just like, it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be that everybody's that's bigger is working out to lose weight. That drives me nuts sometimes, because it's not that. The other thing that I notice is when The other thing that I notice is when you are working out in eating better, the scale sometimes doesn't move, and it doesn't mean that it's not working, because the inches will show that, the how you close with will show that. So don't get frustrated and get really like, oh my God, it's not working. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time for the weight loss. Sometimes it will come off maybe the next month and you're like, whoa, I dropped all this weight while I was doing it. I didn't see it. Because sometimes you're like, dang, this dumbbells are really burning and this is hard. Where are the results? And you might not see them right away. And sometimes it takes later when you're sitting back and you're like, oh, what? I fit into this size? Oh, my stomach's getting smaller, because that's literally what happened. I looked at my stomach. I'm like, oh, it's getting a little bit lighter. What? So the scale is the devil. Just throw it away. No, I'm kidding. Don't focus in on too much. Focus on other things that you're noticing. Energy levels, how your clothes fit, you know. Just focus on that, because that would really help you to keep going. Another thing is, falling into buying everything that somebody mentions, joining this program because somebody said it works for them. Don't do it. Just don't waste your money. Start from the basics, and that is eating better. Eating better will deal with 80% of this. The other stuff is all the other extras. Oh, you join a gym or you go to a spin class or whatever. That's the other stuff. But the main thing is to try to eat better and figure out how to feed your body things that are really, really nutritious and things that give you really good benefits, not just like whatever. Because learning that, when you weigh a certain amount, this is the amount of calories that you can have. You could literally stay in that. You could stay in that or eat less than that and still lose weight. And you could be eating junk, right? Because some people have done that. They literally eat junk, but they're able to stay in their calorie limit because they already know what it is, right? So it doesn't mean that, because somebody lost weight, they're just doing everything right. Sometimes it's just they're aware of the calories that they can keep and how to keep it down. And that's all they're doing. Because you've seen some people, it's like, whoa, okay. But if you're really trying to feed your body and get that nutrition, the other thing that I wanted to say is sometimes, you're so caught up in what somebody said, or, whatever, that to the point where you're doing something because somebody said something and not so much because you are ready to do it. That's one of the things that's different this time for me, is something has clicked inside and I'm like, I want to do this. I'm ready to do this. In the past, I could say, oh, well, a family member said this and said that, or, I was maybe going somewhere and somebody made me feel this way, so I'm going to do it. Those reasons are not enough. The change has to be from the inside, and it's going to be uncomfortable, adjusting your lifestyle. But when you think about the end goal, it's wonderful. The end goal is so wonderful because you're like, man, I get to come out stronger, having more energy, feeling better, and healing yourself from the inside. So those things kind of keep me going sometimes when I'm just like, oh, this is so hard. And sometimes not having a lot of support, it's kind of hard through this journey. One of the most supportive person has been my husband, and my husband loves me the way I am, no problem. And he's just like, whatever you want to do, he's all for it. Like, go for it, whatever you need. I'm here to help and stuff like that. And so for me, and my husband loves me the way I am. It's never been an issue of like, oh, this and that, like in another relationship where people made me feel a certain way about my size and all that. It's never with that, with him, it's never been that issue. It's just like, of course, I want you healthy and to take care of yourself, and things like that. So in general, I wanted to say, when you're starting a lifestyle change, or a weight loss thing, yes, there's going to be people who have something to say about what you're doing, how it's wrong. You need to do it this way. You can scroll on social media and you're going to get different people saying, this is how it should be done. This is what you should eat. It's overwhelming. So you have to really focus. The next thing is, don't compare yourself too much to other people. You're on a different journey. And maybe you have different goals. And not everybody that's working out and eating well is trying to lose weight. Some people are okay with whatever size they are. They want to be functioning on the inside really well. Don't fall into buying everything and joining this class and doing that because everybody else is doing it. Focus on what's working, keep that. Another thing is the scale sometimes will not move, but it doesn't mean that you're not doing the work. Sometimes it just takes a while for that to catch up. And also we know that muscle weighs more than fat, like they say. So once you get on that scale, sometimes it's a muscle. Okay. It's a muscle. And I'm kidding. It's not moving the scale, and that's okay. Keep going. You know, there's really going to be a lot of challenges, but anything worth getting is really, it takes patience, and it's for the long run. And one day you look back and say, wow, I did that. Pat on the back, you know?